The company is called Athletic Cosmetic Company, and I wanted to name the company so there's no ambiguity. You know exactly who we're targeting. In this world with so much makeup, skincare, it's very saturated. Often you might not know, who the demographic is. So I wanted to make it extremely explicit that this is for athletes or for those who want to feel sporty or those who are active. And I think when someone thinks of athletic, they think of clean, they think of healthy, they think of energetic, they think of performance, they think of long wear. So these were the values that we wanted to incorporate into this brand. And so all the products that we develop are going to have that. And not only those, longevity and performance, but also athletes or active people probably want oil-free products so it doesn't make their skin break out. They probably want it hypoallergenic because they're probably sensitive.
Welcome to What Beauty Founders Don't Know, a podcast formerly known as Jumpstart. Here, women-led, early-stage beauty brands learn counterintuitive insights to accelerate their profitability and revenue to $20 to $50 million and even $100 million without spending a fortune on ads, influencers, and reckless distribution. With your host, Rohit Banota, ex-P&G and founder of Toronto-based Jump Accelerator. Together, let's create a more conscious, humane, and beautiful planet. A woman's world. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell notifications, and leave a review.
Hi, Kate. I welcome you to What Beauty Founders Do Not Know podcast, which is all about, and formerly it was known as Jumpstart Beauty Brand. I changed the name recently. The whole theme of the podcast is what is it that beauty founders, early stage beauty founders do not know or find out a bit too late to turn around? And those insights is what I'll be looking for, as you would have seen the questionnaire. So for all my listeners and viewers, Kate Solomon has over 25 years of natural and clean makeup and skincare formulation experience. She was working with the biggies like Loreal USA. She was a product developer. In 2010, she launched Babo Botanicals. She will correct me with the pronunciation. She sold it eventually to a French baby company, Mustela. I hope I pronounced that right too. And then, as her kids were growing older, she saw a gap for clean makeup and skincare brand for a more sporty and active lifestyle. And that is where she launched the Athletic Cosmetic Company with her co-founder, Dominique, whose picture I saw on the website. And she looks like 7 feet tall just through the picture. I don't know. But yeah, over to you, Kate. Tell us about your life, your story, how it all led to Athletic Cosmetic Company.
Great. Well, thank you very much. And I'll repronounce the names of the company as I go through my story. Sure. Thank you for having me. Yeah, so like any great company, I think it all starts from passion and fulfilling. And so for both of these companies, they were fulfilling my own need that I thought for my family and for myself. It's a long story, so we'll do it in little bites, I think. But when I graduated from college, I went to the Peace Corps, and that was the start of my love for natural products because I lived in Paraguay on a farm and growing agricultural products. And there I started my love of making soap and beekeeping and using beekeeping byproducts to create soaps and personal care needs. So my true passion for product development started in South America.
Amazing. Love it.
And from that venture, I knew I loved making products. And I said, I want to go work for a company that helps support women and helps bring greater livelihoods to women around the world through selling makeup and skincare products. And I fell upon Avon company, which many people probably don't know today, but was the Tupperware of makeup back in the day, where women around the world sold products to make an income for themselves. I was in charge of product development in fragrance and personal care, and I learned so much about turning out product after product after product with a global mindset. So that was my first start into the personal care world, getting my feet wet and getting unbelievable training. Then from Avon, I went to business school and came back and worked at L'Oreal for 10 years, working in hair care predominantly, building brands, lots of them, learning how to present to CEOs and sales teams and product development teams, and learned all about operations and logistics and the full package. But my true love was always natural products. I always kept coming back to, can we do a natural brand? Can we please do a natural brand? I was in love with Burt's Bees. They were really the only natural brand on the market. Well, there were a few others. Then I got pregnant with my own child, and I saw a need for natural products for babies that wasn't being addressed in the way that I wanted to do it or felt that I wanted to use. And so I left L'Oreal and started Babo Botanicals.
Babo.
Yes, Babo, but everyone says Babo too, but it is for babes, so it makes sense. I named the company because my son carried around. So I was developing the brand when I was pregnant. Then I had him. I was still developing the products because it takes several years to do so. And he was carrying around his little security bunny, as kids do, and he was calling it Babo. And I thought, wow, that is the perfect name because it symbolizes warmth and security and comfort, all the values that Babo was about. So this was a natural brand for babies and kids. And it started basically in my apartment where I developed these products, but I had great contacts from L'Oreal, which helped me catapult the brand out into the marketplace.
Love it. And 2010, you launched Babo. And you sold it when?
I sold it in 2018. And yeah, so I started the inception of the thinking about it was 2008. Took me a couple years to develop the products. And then I was able to launch in 2010. I went into about 100 Ulta stores. At the time, which was amazing. And I went door to door knocking around New York City, Manhattan. I wanted to canvas Manhattan and get the products into every pharmacy that I could possibly get it into, and every baby store. And I just was a traveling salesperson with my sack, sometimes with my kids, and traveling around knocking on doors. I would knock on Whole Foods. Whole Foods had a New Jersey headquarters for the Eastern region, and I would go there and drop off products. I would go to so many different retailers and drop off product and write a nice note and say, I hope you can try it. So that was the start.
And what was the competition like for Babo back then? Like when you launched, were you like the only brand or did you have competition?
Well, natural wasn't mainstream at the time. So much so that no big company wanted to touch natural, except Estee Lauder had Aveda, which was supposedly environmentally and very clean at the time. So Aveda was around, if you call that natural. And I love that brand. Actually, I first discovered that brand when I was in Arizona at the Biosphere, when I was in their shop and they had little Aveda bottles. And I smelled that rosemary and I thought, this is the best product I've ever seen in my life. So Aveda actually really started my love of like the essential oil smells. Burt's Bees was around, Weleda, little baby brand was around, but not many. It was not mainstream. And my goal was to make it more mainstream because the organic food market was so strong. That was really coming to play in 2010, that the organic foods for, in particularly babies, like Happy Baby and Plum. So I knew that people were getting more interested in organics, but it just hadn't transferred yet to personal care.
Good. So just one last question on Babo, because Babo, right? Babo?
Yep. Babo, but Babo Baby. Babo. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Before we get to ACC, Athletic Cosmetic Company.
Yeah.
Your exit, of course, there are multiple variables that might have influenced the exit or helped you exit. But what was the key, one or two, that you think helped you in exiting to that French company? Was it you knew them very well, but also their strategy was they were looking for something? Like, how did you go about selling your brand?
Yes. So I loved the brand Mustela. That was the company that eventually bought us. I had known them and drew enormous inspiration from that brand. I actually tried to take many of their products and adapt them to Babo's products. They had great consistencies and textures, and they're a wonderful French company. And they are the number one French baby brand company in Europe. And they were a brand that I had always admired. And so they were looking at the time for a company a natural company in the US, where they could leverage their infrastructure here, because they had a US New York headquarters, and use their infrastructure and get more heavily involved in the natural space, because they really are a natural company. They were also ahead of their time, because they're a really sustainable, independent, family-owned company. And so they were looking for a similar company that they could also grow with. And so the synergies were great. So how did I fall upon? They outreach to Babo, which was wonderful.
Wow, that's such an amazing insight. Somebody who's outside of US, in Europe, they have a big company. They have some presence in US, and they are looking to add to their portfolio. And if the
Exactly.
beauty brand already has some distribution and success traction there. Just one last question on this. I know I said last time.
Yeah.
If you don't want to disclose, that's fine. What was your revenue when they decided to buy you?
Yeah, I won't disclose that, but we were distributed in over 1,500 retailers. We had one of the top selling sunscreens on the market in the natural. Nielsen report year after year would show that. Nielsen is a database that shows all natural products and how they track. So we were very well positioned to be acquired and fold, as you said, right into their portfolio.
Love it. And I take it, you don't have to answer it, but I take it that you must have crossed 8 figures. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Yeah. Perfect. So yeah, now let's move on to Athletic Cosmetic Company. These are still early days for you, and you have launched only with 3 products, which I love, by the way. Instead of throwing a full assortment right from the get-go, I think that is a very smart move. A likely road with your brand name implies that you will launch more skincare and makeup products. So I'm very intrigued. There are 2 questions here. One is you combine skincare and makeup right from the get-go. It's like usually so what it means is that you are targeting the end consumer and their routines, right, their lifestyle. But usually routine formation happens at the end, like when people start, you have a gateway product, etc., they start buying, they start using, and then eventually you create routines for them, like typical loyalty programs or repeat purchases, etc. So I'm very intrigued by this. Like, how are you going about targeting now? And this is my question that I asked you. How are you going to market? Are you targeting athletes first, like people who will go for both makeup and skincare right from the onset, because you have defined a problem that they are facing overall in their life, rather than just product based problem, that individual product based problem. So yeah, 2 questions there.
So the company is called Athletic Cosmetic Company, and I wanted to name the company so there's no ambiguity. You know exactly who we're targeting. In this world with so much makeup, skincare, it's very saturated. Often you might not know, who the demographic is. So I wanted to make it extremely explicit that this is for athletes or for those who want to feel sporty or those who are active. And I think when someone thinks of athletic, they think of clean, they think of healthy, they think of energetic, they think of performance, they think of long wear. So these were the values that we wanted to incorporate into this brand. And so all the products that we develop are going to have that. And not only those, longevity and performance, but also athletes or active people probably want oil-free products so it doesn't make their skin break out. They probably want it hypoallergenic because they're probably sensitive. They probably want to get rid of redness, many of the things that come with being athletic or active. And we also wanted it to be sustainable. So the packaging is over, our mascara is only 95% sustainable PCR. That's post-consumer recycled plastic. So these were the values of the brand. And that was first what we wanted to create. Then in terms of which products to roll out, we wanted ones that were everyday products that basically anyone could use, whether you're a male or female. So the first being a hyaluronic acid, which is highly moisturizing to the skin. Male can use it, female can use it. They can use it pre, post, anytime during the day. It's a great hydration, instantly cools the skin. So that was just a baseline product that everybody uses. Then that was skincare. Then we wanted to complement that with a cosmetic product. And that would be the mascara, which most women do use a mascara. I'm not sure they would use it in sport, but we are giving permission that you can go to the gym and wear mascara. Now, since we've launched this brand, everybody whispers in our ear, I've always worn mascara. I wear it to my gymnastics events. I wear it wear it to crew. I wear it to dance. I wear it hiking. I wear it biking. Women, I think, just need, or men need permission to say it's okay if they want to enhance their beauty regime before an athletic activity.
I cannot tell you, every time I go to the gym, which is what I'll do right after this recording, everybody is wearing makeup, or you can tell, especially women.
Yeah, that's what we saw. And I could see that with my own kids. So I have two athletes that are in high school. I mean, I could see that with their peers. I could see that certainly with professional athletes on television. So that was evident, whether it's track or field or many of the Olympic sports, many of the Olympic athletes, basketball players. I could see that they were also wearing makeup. And then those who go to the gym, when I'm at the gym, equally, I could see that. So just seeing what was going on around, and there was no brand taking that opportunity, and for myself, mind you, that most of what I do is developed. Babo was for my family, my babies, my kids, and I've had a long career. So I tend to wear cosmetics and makeup and more skincare. And that is all day long, no matter what activity I'm doing.
Love it. When I was going through your profile, I can already predict the next 3 brands that you're going to launch. When your kids are going to get married and when they will cross 30. So you have the entire life cycle, planned.
I'm trying to do the entire life cycle of my family. Correct.
Love
Correct.
it. Love it. Perfect. So now how are you going to the market? Are you following the top-down approach, like you're targeting these influencers who are well-known, who live active lifestyle, etc., and then using it to percolate, to influence people below them, like a top-down approach? Or you have also started targeting the general public that is active?
The amazing thing about this brand is that it's hitting just when the NCAA has changed their policy with athletes. So with the NIL, now you're able to give or sponsor athletes in the college level, which has never been before. So the gateway has opened where we can send product to these wonderful, super ambitious, goal-minded college athletes from all different sports who are loving, receiving, and knowing that we are helping promote women athletics, which is a strategic part of our brand, is to help elevate women and sports. So we have no shortage of athletes coming to us, which is fantastic. And they are the ones who should be voicing. They're the ones using the product. They're the ones that are going to be performing their sports with it and have been, and coming back and saying, wow, this is actually a really good product and makes me feel more confident that it's long wear and doesn't come off and has those great benefits, and just that I feel better.
Absolutely love it. You call it market timing, or maybe you are just a genius Subconsciously, you know what to do, but your entire target market is within those schools and those, those colleges, the kids that are growing up, right? And they all are active. So identifying target market and accessing them is such a big challenge when, usually when people write personas, etc., they don't know how to target them beyond going and posting on social media. But in your case, I think it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You call it market timing, or maybe was it deliberate?
I mean, most people say that business is a lot of luck and persistence. So let's just say that it's like the natural with Babo. I had an interest and it caught a wave. Let's see, I'm all for other brands hopping in and helping support women in sports in some sort of fashion.
Love it. There's this line in a movie, I forgot the movie. I love it when a plan comes together. So when everything comes together, which in your case, the second time around, so you're second time lucky. Perfect. Moving on. And I don't think you have competition the way you have defined, like you're only targeting athletes and you're targeting in the product development. I don't see you have too much competition, right? Or do you have none?
Not so deliberately. Certainly there are brands that athletes are using and help promote other brands. So, but none that are so directed to this target
Like
audience.
that's what I meant. No brand that is targeting specifically or exactly the audience. Now, your values are invaluable to you, and you have taken a very strong stance on reproductive rights. Family comes first, and women's right to choose. What I was intrigued was, what is the common string to these values? How does it align with positive mind, positive impact? How do these values align with active lifestyle? Positive mind, positive impact, positive beauty. I have my theory, but yeah, I would love to hear it from you.
From the Peace Corps, I lived with a family with no running water, electricity for 3 years in Paraguay, where we grew our own vegetables and created our own personal products. I've always been very mission-based. I went to Avon products because I wanted to help women around the world. I thought I was going to go back and do social entrepreneurism, which is giving back and creating businesses that help people. So I've never lost that focus in what I personally want to achieve with companies. My last company, we hired predominantly women. It was a women-led company. This one, it's myself and my partner working with a lot of freelancers that are mostly women. But positive mind, that's health, wellness, feeling good about yourself. Positive beauty is accepting your body, and positivity when it comes to body and not having rigid standards, and keep moving. I mean, I so believe in activeness when it comes to wellness. I'm one who can't go a day without exercise, and that has been a true gift in my life. And so promoting that among women, girls, anyone, just try to be as active as you can to stay well and healthy. So those are my values.
Love it.
And also, I was an aerobics instructor in college. That was my job. I've always really been interested in the fitness industry as well. I love that industry too.
I can see like your face is very lean. There's no, yeah, that's the first thing I noticed.
Thank you. Well, I have my hyaluronic acid on and the mascara.
Perfect. Love it. Love it. Did you start with Credo Clean Standard and work backwards?
Yes.
And are you in Credo already?
No, we are not in Credo. My hope is that we are, because we are developing our products to meet that very high standard. The Credo Clean Standard is the highest out there.
Highest,
Detox Market is as well. And it made no sense for us not to start the brand at the highest level. No one is able to do that now. We can create super clean products. And I don't want to compromise. It's much more expensive, much harder to do. You're so much more limited. However, it's still possible. And that was the same with Babo at the time. There were so few natural ingredients to work with at the time. Now, there are many more ingredients. And so there's no reason one shouldn't be absolutely clean.
You spoke about luck, but I would say this is one of the qualities that distinguish you as a successful entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship, like Tony Robbins says, is not about resources, it's about resourcefulness. how can you go beyond the resource? That's the whole point, right? So when founders compromise, I don't like it. When they compromise, at least on your core, you should not compromise, because that's the whole point. Otherwise, you won't succeed. What's the biggest hurdle to your next big goal as an indie beauty brand?
My next big goal, I believe from my last experience, it took 8 years to grow a brand, and it's a sport in itself. You have to be gritty, you have to be determined, you have to zig, you have to zag, and it's going to be it's going to be a marathon. It's not a sprint, as they say, right? I can use all these sports terms, and it takes time, and I recognize that now. So my goals when I did Babo, it was, pretty hilarious. I said, oh, I want to sell 1,000 products and I'll be happy. I want to sell 5,000. I just kept ratcheting it up. I never thought I would build the size that it got. Never thought. In this case, I would say similar. I am trying to develop the best products I can for this target audience. It takes time. And I know this brand will take time to develop. I have time and I have patience and I have grit and determination. And so you asked about goal. My goal is that my kids love it and use it. Really, at the end of the day, I hope my friends, family, kids, and all the people that I love and treasure so much love the product just as much as they love Babo.
Love it. Wow, that's so authentic in everything that you said, and I absolutely love it. See, you can tell entrepreneurs who really make it. Of course, there is luck, etc. But I see the differences amongst those who, nothing against them. It's not about certain people or something, right? I'm just talking behavioral characteristics or traits. You need to have something that you're very passionate about. So I absolutely love it. Let's move to when the going gets tough. What's the lowest time in your entrepreneurial journey with Athletic Cosmetic Company or Babo? How bad was it? Did you believe you would overcome, or did everything seem lost? And what would you attribute the eventual overcoming of the challenge to?
I had many challenges, so I don't even know where to start. First of all, I told you that Baba went into Ulta. All the products exploded. Not like whoosh, but the first run of packaging all leaked. So that was my first obstacle when I launched the brand. Leaky product on Ulta's shelf. So that was back in 2010.
That's like the worst nightmare, right?
The worst. So how did I go about that? We were in 100 stores. I had friends from all over go to the stores, wipe them down, made sure that didn't happen again. Yeah. So that was the first year in my first shipment. I would say just other kind of things that have happened. Manufacturers, partners have disappeared or gone out of business over the years, and you have to figure out how to adapt. Suppliers sometimes go out of business, and then you have to kind of figure out where you're going to source things. Never a dull moment in business. And that's another thing. Anyone who wants to be an entrepreneur or anyone who's in business, probably anyone who does anything in life, quite frankly, there's never a dull moment. So you just have to, pick yourself up, keep going.
I couldn't agree more. When a friend of mine, anyone tells me my life is really going great, it's cool, easy, I tell them, why don't you launch something and it'll become happening overnight. So I'm
Well,
absolutely
I
with you.
think a lot of people look and see, wow, what success people have. Wow, that's amazing. And most entrepreneurs, we listen to these podcasts, right? Will tell you all the troubles, tribulations that they've had along the way and all the bumps and the many sleepless nights. And I think just part of it is just picking yourself up, dusting yourself off. You take one step forward again.
Absolutely with you. My achievements don't line up with yours, but I would say I share the experiences totally with you. And that's why going to the gym or for a long walk for me helps a lot. Like you again get charged up. Yes, you
I
find out.
can't even tell you. It's night and day for me. Just stepping outside and taking a walk. or having movement, sweating. Yeah. My husband actually just says, if I'm in a mood, go exercise. And he's absolutely right.
I agree. I agree. And something does pop in from where it comes, like Einstein said, you don't know, but you do get some insight, some input, some information, right? When you are outside and doing stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I absolutely, my best ideas are when I'm walking or running.
Absolutely. I share it absolutely wholeheartedly with you. Perfect. So we'll move to speed round in the interest of time. These are just 1, 2, 3 word answers associations. I always tell this to my guests that you please feel free to say whatever comes to your mind. Don't be limited by propriety. Don't worry about it. When I upload, I say it's explicit, whatever comes to your mind, because the whole objective is to be authentic and honest. So this is mainly for fun, but obviously there will be some insight in it. So women's sports, 1 word, 2 or 3 words. What is the association you have with it? Women's sports.
Fun.
Fun. Like it. What's your favorite sport?
That's a tough one. Flag football. My daughter started to play flag football. It's football for women.
Oh, football for women. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, but tennis is my favorite one, professional one to watch.
I love tennis too. By the way, you mean football, American football, or you mean the
Yeah.
real football?
So American football,
That's
Tom
not
Brady
real football for me.
Oh, sorry, not soccer.
Sorry. I'm just.
So, so flag football is the fastest growing women's sport in the US. Most schools hopefully will be a collegiate sport, and it's coming to the Olympics. It's
Love
women
it.
and men, but women play flag football.
Love it. Love it. I wish it were soccer, which we call football, but that's fine.
Yeah. Right.
Your
Well,
favorite book and a quote from the book.
Anna Karenina reminds me of my roommate from college. Her name was Karenina, and I always loved that book for some reason, but I couldn't quote it. So I'm sorry, I can't quote that book.
That's fine. Don't worry. Bootstrap or funding? You're funded with this ACC?
100% bootstrap. I believe in bootstrapping.
What about Babo? Was it bootstrapped 100%?
Bootstrap for the first 3 years.
Perfect. And why do you want to stay bootstrapped? You don't like outside interference?
I really like to have complete autonomy.
Me too. Like somebody asked me once. Sometimes you get these offers, right? People would ask about your business and etc. And I tell them, you know what? If I take your money, you will fire me on the first day. So that's why I don't want to take your money. Perfect. Perfect. So social media, what are your thoughts?
Two-edged sword. I'm sad about it, and it's given a lot of opportunity. So both emotions, but more sad because I have teenagers.
Yeah. And you see them comparing themselves with others, like
I see them highly addicted to their phones, and I see adults highly addicted to their phones. So I think that's the other reason why actually I'm such a proponent of sports, because you cannot have your phone during sports. And it's the one time that you have to put it away, and you can't have it. And I can't think of any other thing that you put your phone away that you don't have to carry it around with you. But you sure can't when you're running down the field.
love it. You know what? I grew up in India. And when I was a kid in the 80s and even in early 90s, all we did was run out of the house for any excuse that we could get, run out and play. So
Exactly.
that was the only
And
entertainment.
that doesn't exist anymore, except if you are doing really a competitive sport.
Beauty in sports, 1 word.
Exciting.
Love it. Your thoughts on clean beauty?
Exciting.
Again, wow, that's a repetition, but that's fine.
I mean, it's really exciting that people are coming up with new ingredients and understanding potential harm in some ingredients, and And the movement is pushing formulas to be different and really caring about the health of both the environment and of humans and of animals and of the planet. So
Love it,
excited.
love it. Kate, you were absolutely wonderful. All your answers, like I said, were very authentic. You are building things from passion, just like you did with Babo and now with ACC, Athletic Cosmetic Company. I know you're gonna go places because you don't want to go places. You want to make a
Yeah,
difference.
I actually want to be at home with my kids most times. So I'm not, the places is my kitchen, and then outside in the woods. So those two. But thank you. I really appreciate this.
Any message you have for the listeners or viewers from Athletic Cosmetic Company? Anything that you want to tell them about?
I want to thank anyone for listening to this podcast because I know there's a lot of different podcasts out there to listen to. So I want to thank everybody. And I hope everybody has a really nice, energetic 2024.
Perfect. Love it. Well, Kate, you were absolutely amazing. I truly
Oh.
appreciate you sharing such amazing insights with all my listeners, which will definitely help all the aspiring beauty founders. Maybe they will not be able to emulate, but at least they will learn from you and do their own thing the best way they can. Well, thank you very much. You have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to this What Beauty Founders Don't Know podcast for amazing guests and insights on growing your beauty brand. Visit jumpaccelerator.com and take the quiz to find out how ready you are to make the jump to $20 to $50 million plus. And above all, don't miss out on your free online course taken by hundreds of successful beauty founders. Sign up for your free online course now. Till the next episode.